I am a big fan of a CPP delay. This makes a lot of sense to me, and I find that in the majority of the financial projections and plans that I'm doing for people, that is my end recommendation when it comes to CPP. But there are a number of very valid, very good reasons why you should take CPP early. In this video, we'll explore 6 of them. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, and the one that I would definitely say is the strongest on this list, is if you have a diminished life expectancy. If you've seen other videos where I talk about CPP, when you're comparing the start dates, there's break-even points where it makes more sense. Starting at 60 versus 65, the break-even point is somewhere in your mid-70s. Starting at 65 versus starting at 70, your break-even is somewhere in your early 80s. So if you're looking at your life expectancy and realizing that in all likelihood I'm not making it into my 80s, it very well could make sense to take that CPP payment early. Reason number 2 is if you need access to that cash flow. So there's kind of 2 camps of this. So camp A is you have not invested enough. And so you're 60, maybe you're retired, and you just don't have enough investments to pull sustainably and you need access to that CPP, and that could be a really good idea for you. Maybe you're still working and you're not making enough to actually make your cash flow desires a reality, and CPP can help you get there, but that's really the not enough camp here. The other side of things is it's technically possible that you have enough, but you don't have access to the cash flow. So theoretically, you could have invested a great big amount, and you could have that in a LIF that has a maximum withdrawal. Specifically, if you're in a province like BC where you're not allowed to split a LIF out into an RRSP or a RIF, then you could be restricted. You could have a maximum imposed upon you that does not meet your spending desires. If that's the case, it may make sense for you to start CPP early. Reason number 3 is that you want to try to take advantage of your investing prowess. Maybe you're a DIY investor or you found a great portfolio management partner, but you want to take the CPP early and you want to invest it, and you think you're going to be able to outpace what you could have done, and it could positively impact your estate or your spending in your 80s or 90s. For me, I don't think this argument is super strong. I totally get it, and I think there is a very valid math argument. But remember, delaying CPP is adding a guaranteed 7.2% to that value that it's growing, plus inflation. So it's a hard one for me to quantify. So that's why I don't love that one a lot personally. But if that is your approach and you want to try to maximize the cash that you have by maximizing the cash flow early, all the power to you. It can absolutely work for some people. So reason number 4 is that long term, you want to be avoiding OAS clawback. So once OAS gets kicked into your cash flow, if you hit certain thresholds, it does start to get pulled back on the OAS recovery tax. So sometimes it may make sense to look at taking less for a longer time period by taking CPP at 60, so that you will avoid clawback in your 70s and your 80s. Now, you need to be really careful with this one because the math is really delicate. And I find that when I review this strategy, oftentimes we can actually get the same effect by doing an RRSP meltdown, and then you're not sacrificing foundational income that comes from the government. You're sacrificing RRSP income and balance in those early years, which may or may not be a good trade for you. It depends on the scenario. But to me, that can make a lot of sense. But it's absolutely a valid reason to look at CPP early to simply avoid OAS clawback long term. Reason number 5, you may want to look at taking CPP at 60 is if we're in the midst of a market downturn. And it's not actually specific to age 60, this recommendation. So one of the things I say to clients all the time, even when I'm recommending CPP at age 70, I'm not setting that in stone. So you got to take the present environment into consideration. So even when I'm recommending a 70 start time for CPP, if you're 67 and we're in the midst of a massive market downturn, I absolutely will change that recommendation and I'll shift it forward to whatever age you are. takes a lot of pressure off of your investment. So if you're retiring, you're 60, and we happen to be in a year like 2008 or even early 2020 when the COVID downturn happened and there was a lot of fear in the air, there's nothing wrong with taking CPP and alleviating $600, $700, $800 per month off of your withdrawals from your investment portfolio. Nothing wrong with that at all. Reason number 6 why you may want to take CPP as early as 60 is if you already have 8 very low or no income years in your calculation. So the department that calculates your CPP is able to drop your 8 lowest or no income years off of your equation to figure out how much you get. So if you already have 8 of those, all you're doing by delaying after age 60 is adding zeros to the calculation that you're not able to drop off. So that may not be a good idea for you. So there's another good reason why you may want to take CPP early. Now, I've said it 100 times, your CPP timing decision is one of the most important decisions you'll make in your retirement plan. So if it's time for me to review your CPP timing decision, there will be a link in the description down below. Until next time, keep planning.